Welcome back to the 3-Star Podcast. My name is Matthew Steele with my co-host here, Andrew Nominick. We have an absolutely loaded show today. I hope you all having a good day. So we're gonna hop straight into this. First up, we got NBA. Victor Wembanyama went first overall to the Spurs. Is he the future of the NBA?
I agree.
Yes.
Publicity-wise, yes. Of course, the NBA is completely different than his French leagues, so we really can't predict how good it's gonna be. But the hype is real.
The hype is real.
And rookie season, no matter how he does, he will get tons of coverage.
Yes.
And at least for his rookie season, he's gonna look like it.
He'll probably have the most jersey sales of any player to not have ever played an NBA game before. By the time he's a rookie.
That's facts, actually.
Because how many people do you think have bought jerseys already?
Yeah,
a lot.
And I feel like more people buy jerseys right now than
I don't think
LeBron's
they haven't made any jerseys yet, have they?
No, probably not.
Probably by next week. Yeah,
Right, they will be
jerseys.
very good.
Oh yeah, fan made jerseys. And also special thanks to all the fans for the support. Like and comment for a call out and subscribe as well. Today we're shouting out Donovan and Andre for subscribing, so make sure you subscribe.
Alright, can the Spurs become a title contender in his first 2 seasons? And if not, how many years? We're going to start with Dominic.
No. I say the first 4 seasons probably because they don't have any depth. Like literally 0 depth. I can't name one single player on their bench. I can barely name all starting 5 of their plays. But eventually, they'll get, since they'll have WEMBY, people are going to want to come to the Spurs. And they're going to want out of their teams to go to the Spurs to win a championship. So players probably, Dame's not going to go there, but players like Dame, rising stars, who will get traded eventually, probably going to go to the Spurs. If they still had DeJounte, I would probably say probably. But
I want to.
I'm saying no because I don't think there's been a rookie who's been that good.
I agree with Dominic. Up and coming definitely, but will not be a contender. However, I do think there will be many more wins with Victor Wembanyama.
I said it'll be mid though.
I think it's gonna be. He's as NBA ready as you could be. Like his team that he's played for. When he switched teams, their main goal was pretty much get Wemby ready for the NBA. He's got all these trainers and all this stuff, so he's about as ready as you can get. So I think there will be a very conspicuous difference of their wins next season from last season, but I think they're still gonna miss the playoffs next year. I think they got a shot at maybe to play in, but really that's as optimistic as I'm gonna get.
I would disagree. I would say they'll be mid. I think they'll be in the middle. I think they'll get first rounded. They're not going to go very far. I don't think they'll win.
I mean, they could sneak into the play-in
I mean,
tournament.
there are players like Michael Jordan. I know Wembanyama's not Michael Jordan, but there are players like
They could carry the team.
that can have an impact as soon as.
I mean, they could definitely sneak into the play-in. Now, if you're going to do anything, that's a completely different story.
LeBron did that though. LeBron made a big impact.
It did. As soon as he got to the league.
Alright, who was a sneaky pick that could end up being a very good pick?
This isn't biased, but I'm gonna say, actually, you know what? For the first part, I'll say the Thompson twins. Most people say they're gonna be bust.
Really?
Because most people will be like, they don't take the overtime elite very seriously. Although, I mean, it's an alternative to college, so I mean, it's probably.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty. They've spent millions of dollars on it, so I think it's legit.
Yeah, over time, it's a good league, but it's not the same as college. They're on different levels. Maybe not in terms of skill, but of just structure, completely different.
Yeah, it's overhyped. OTE is very overhyped. It's more of like entertainment than more of like actual basketball, like good basketball to watch. Like most people don't want to go watch an OTE game. They rather go to a D1 college game.
Exactly. Yeah. So you're right about that.
But back to my point, I'll say the Thompson twins, sneaky pick, and then honestly, I'm gonna say Cam Whitmore. As much as he fell in the draft, though, I think he has the most. Scouts are saying he has the most NBA ready body, which I definitely agree with. So he's solid player, solid defender, and can 41-inch vertical, I'm pretty sure. So
yeah, that sounds NBA ready to me. I think, me personally, I think Grady Dick is gonna. No, you go. Hear me out, guys.
I agree.
I liked
agree.
what he did on
I
Kansas.
agree.
He was a hard worker.
I agree. He can
and
shoot
I just-
really
Hard
well.
work.
I know, I
It's
see.
always something that translates to the pros.
Yeah, and I just see him doing well on the Raptors. Maybe not for a couple seasons. He's gonna. He will
He would
take some time to get accustomed.
Is he
Especially,
the next Kawhi?
it'll take him time though for the Raptors to be good as well. So
Exactly. Yeah.
Although
So.
he will have the time to shine though, since they're not very
Yeah,
good.
I
So-
think Raptors are still on the fall too.
Yeah.
With recent stuff.
Fred
So.
Van Vliet is obviously in trade rumors too. So.
Yeah. So I just don't know, but I do like Grady Dick.
Alright, which player will have the biggest impact on the team this season?
I mean, we've already mentioned Wemby, obviously, and then
Brandon Miller.
ooh,
Hornets.
Yeah.
Hornets.
Yeah, they needed that.
They are-
they are
so
a
struggling
they
team.
need, yeah, they need
They
a
have
player.
such
They need like a big time player.
I think-
LaMelo.
I know. I think Brandon Miller is
Who's
gonna
the
have
They have such
a
good.
really nice rookie
They
season.
have such a good draft too. They have Brandon Miller, Nick Smith Jr. Both of those players were well. Like Nick Smith, I know was a number 3 recruit in high school,
Mm-hmm.
5-star, and then obviously was hurt at Arkansas, but still played well when he did play. So
Alright. Who do you think the worst pick of the draft thus far is? Or,
like in the past draft or in this
well,
draft?
this draft, I guess.
I can't say for sure.
I would say first, if we're going first round, because obviously I'm not going to go second round. But I would say,
Second round is a complete wild card.
yeah, I'm not going to also go with the last pick either, because that's kind of, I would say. Hot take, Scoot Henderson.
Really?
He's going to be a bust.
Yeah, I know he is insanely young.
I don't know what people
This is
see
the
him.
Falcon,
But
the
he
mock
is
draft, right?
such. I mean,
No.
Oh, we drafted the Michigan person, right?
Yeah, Kobe
yeah.
Buffalo.
Yeah, and
Oh, both of them solid guards. Scoot Henderson.
But the
though,
Hawks
he is
is-
so. He could definitely be a bust. But I just feel like the game is changing and the guard position is becoming pretty valuable. So
I'm going to say,
I think if they put enough into him, I think he'll turn out good. But otherwise, he could very well be a bust.
for the next question, we are from Atlanta, so do you think the Hawks made good draft picks? We'll start with Andrew, we'll work our way around back from there.
I'm gonna focus just on Kobe. I think he's a very solid guard, and I'm not really surprised at all. I think reminiscent to a typical Hawks draft.
That's not really a good thing, but
I know. It's just like I can't say for sure. I'm like big in the draft, especially as a Hawks fan.
yeah.
So I'm just kind of lukewarm on our picks.
Matthew.
in my limited experience with college, I don't really know the answer, but I'm just gonna say I mean, he has potential. Definitely, he could be a solid bench player. Could really help, and just get some quality minutes could really help the Hawks here when Trey and DeJounte aren't both in the game. So
I'm gonna say we made bad picks. I don't know why we drafted 2 guards.
it's not the area for sure.
Seth Lundy and Kobe Buffkin. Seth Lundy's a senior from Penn State.
Penn State did play well last season, but
But he's one of the older players in the draft. He's undersized. Or no, I mean
No,
he's
6'6",
6'6".
220.
Yeah.
That's not.
I'm gonna say
That's
no.
a quarterback.
But we don't need a guard. We need defense, which I think is why we drafted those guys, because they're defensive oriented.
I think we need.
But we have we have a good set of guards.
I know. Two
Bogey,
guards is pretty.
Bogey, Trey, and DeJounte. Those are solid. I would have said we should have drafted a
Yeah, I
power
think
forward.
I was about to say power forward or center.
We need a backup for John Collins. But my boy Jalen Johnson,
On the rise.
absolute dog.
Watch out for him.
But we
If we
need
could get a superstar, or not even a superstar, it's like a
decent
sport or something, we could be really good. I
If
think.
we had even a player that made all rookie second team or something, just a solid all around player who can score when he needs to, but also play defense.
Even so, yeah. All right, next topic. Jordan Poole traded to the traded to the Wizards in exchange for
Chris Paul.
Chris Paul. There's also some draft picks in there, but the headline of the deal was Poole for Chris Paul. Now, I'll go first because
Yeah.
So the Warriors are obviously in win now mode, and they're going to hopefully win the championship this year. And with Steph, Clay, and now Chris Paul, they're obviously still the potential for doing that. Obviously, I think Jordan Poole might have been hurt in the team chemistry, so he's probably going to be dished out anyway.
Yeah, I
don't know.
But that was just a good
I don't know if
trade.
he's necessarily hurting the team chemistry though. He didn't really do much. Like,
Well, that's the whole thing.
terms
Like
of,
he
like-
just slumped a little this season, and
well, meaning
was
like,
awful in the playoffs.
meaning like,
Kind of inconsistent too. So.
like I'm saying, like Draymond. If anyone messed up the team dynamic, it was Draymond because Jordan Poole didn't punch anybody.
And this helps the Wizards too, because Chris Paul is just going to be there for a few years, retire, or maybe just one because it's his last year in the contract. So like probably at most he'll be on the Wizards for 1 year. So this is a good trade.
I would say also Jordan Poole's gonna have his time to shine because who they have.
Wizards, he's gonna be a
Wizards
starter.
are gonna be. He's gonna be definitely. Who else do they have?
Nobody.
They just traded Kristaps Porzingis to the Celtics.
That's right. Yeah.
And Marcus Smart to the Grizzlies.
I know. And then when Bradley Beal is just.
Yeah, who do they have?
I
They
don't
have
know.
Kyle
This is-
Kuzma and
this is
Complete
Jordan
reload.
Poole. That's
Complete
yeah,
reload.
This is Jordan
rebuild.
Poole's.
bottom of
Yeah,
the.
this
bottom
is Jordan. This is Jordan Poole's time to shine. Well, not shine because nobody's gonna be ditching the Wizards, but like
Well, no, he
in a few years he could lead the Wizards back into relevancy, and he could be the leader on that team. Where the Warriors he would never get in.
Well, this is gonna this is gonna be, I think, his year to show like his potential because if he doesn't play this year,
Yeah.
Because
He's
he's
gonna-
never
he's
going
gonna-
to be the face of the franchise with the Warriors.
well, he's gonna have the Warriors have so much young talent that he's never gonna be the face.
Name
Also,
that's a lot, but I mean, some
He's
don't
gonna-
pan out.
he's gonna have the ball in his hands pretty much all the time he's on the floor. So if he's scoring like 15 points, people know he's not gonna be a superstar that everyone said he would be. Like,
Yeah,
He made the
exactly.
playoffs.
Like this is when we're really gonna see what he's made of. But I think Chris Paul on the Warriors is really interesting.
that's not gonna work. I don't know how they're gonna put fit Curry and.
I know Curry and Chris Paul. It's really weird, but I kind of like it
It could help.
because
I
Chris
mean,
Paul
He's
is
a vet too. He could mentor.
He's a
the
vet.
young-
He's,
mentor the-
he's actually really consistent last season.
yeah.
He could also help mentor young players like the
Yeah.
future of the Warriors, like Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga.
Like we all know his history in the postseason, but I mean, their plan wasn't to have Chris Paul.
You know, like
I mean, it'd be a good backup though.
he's a 12th time All Star as well. So
Mhm.
and he's gonna be in the being in the Hall of Fame.
This is like his last shot to win a championship.
Exactly.
Being-
This is his place to be right now.
Being a Hall of Famer, like a guaranteed Hall of Famer, without winning a championship is very impressive. Now that thinking about it, like I think he's gonna be a Hall of Famer. 12,
I think
12,
so. Of course
he's gonna be
12
a Hall of Famer.
All-Stars.
Yeah.
Without winning a championship is kind of crazy.
How many finals appearances has he had?
He's had the one with the
Because-
Suns.
Yeah, one with the Suns, and
That's it. Right?
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
never gone past the conference final.
It looked like the Suns were gonna win that finals too, but
I
then
thought-
No, Giannis
I thought they were gonna win
Antetokounmpo.
it this year. They should have won it this year.
who
Yeah,
did they
it's
lose
a
to?
strong team, but the
They had Kevin Durant, Devin
No,
Booker,
who did they lose to though?
Nuggets.
Nuggets. But
Oh, well, nobody was beating the Nuggets.
yeah,
but, like,
that's true. It was either gonna be the Suns or the Nuggets, but like
I thought Suns. I
as
thought-
much as I respect another shout out to my boy Joshy B, but no offense to the Suns fans out there, but
it doesn't matter.
like I don't know how you lose with like two
It was
guaranteed
DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah.
Is what they were saying.
two guaranteed Hall of Famers. Devin Booker will probably be
Devin Booker was
He's too-
crazy.
he's
He got
too young to
efficiency
do
levels that you
Yeah.
like almost never see. So
like the two Hall of Famers.
And then KD
guaranteed,
obviously is doing.
guaranteed Hall of Famers who didn't really show up. as
And
fast
Bradley
as
Beal, that was on like he could like turn his career around and maybe sneak into the Hall of Fame.
They
if he-
have to turn his career like he's had a crazy career.
I mean like
crazy
let's
career.
search it.
not career, but like propel him to play even further. And
They,
that
they need to win, or they're gonna lose like all their fan. They're gonna lose their whole fan base and like all the faith in their
at the very
organization.
least this season they need a finals appearance.
The GM, the GM's gonna get fired. The coach is gonna get fired. They're gonna trade tons of players
Yeah, he's had multiple 30 points per game season.
Yeah. I mean,
because he was a scoring leader, like wasn't he? He was in the top scoring leader for multiple years, and I think he won it 1 year. I
I
think
know.
he edged out Steph.
he's obviously a good scorer.
I think it was 2019 or 2020.
He's a solid defender too. Like he's not all-star level, but definitely solid.
Yeah.
So who do you think will be the number one scorer on that team? D-Book?
That's hard to say. They have 3 big scorers.
I know.
And KD.
I'm
I say
going to say KD because I feel like he's going
He
to
can
get
score
past the
multiple
ball some
ways.
more.
that's true. And he's what 6'10".
Yeah.
Although I think he's 7 feet.
I mean, KD obviously has the widest range of scoring options because he's just like such a.
He has
And a
shoot,
flexible player.
but he's tall and yeah.
his arms are long too.
So I'm gonna say
his-
KD.
I
It's
think-
always
yeah.
KD.
I think his wingspan is what like something crazy, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually gonna say 7 Booker, but that's just
Alright, we're gonna move on to MLB.
MLB time.
Reds lead the NL Central.
Yeah, hot right now.
Very hot. On the 11-game winning streak, we started rebuilding after some of the teams went into an offseason. NL Central was an absolutely awful division, so like literally anybody could
I
win
think
it.
AL Central's worse.
It might be.
Yeah, Twins are
Yeah.
leading with 38 and 38.
But it's also the NL Central is also like not that far behind. It's
Yeah,
terrible.
and worse in the National League.
Yeah, Brewers are 2.5 games back, so that's obviously not a complete division. But the Brewers they're not there. Like this is not it.
Oh, right now they're 1.5 innings
No,
back.
1.5 back. So like obviously that division is up for grabs. But have the Reds emerge as a leader for this division?
I think
The
so.
front runner.
I
Yes,
think so.
yes.
The Brewers and the Cubs are the next 2 up. I feel like they're going to continue to slowly go on their wins, but stay around the same winning
I
percentage.
feel like the Cardinals are like just too far back, and until they follow.
Cardinals fell apart.
Yeah,
I
until they fire Ollie Marmol, then that team's probably not gonna like do anything because Ollie Marmol is clearly not a fit for the Cardinals.
Yeah, I think the Reds, as long as they can keep this winning percentage, stay hot too, they will obviously secure their spot in as the leader in the NL Central going into the playoffs. Real quick, let me just check if we're still recording because I'm paranoid.
You're gonna cut this, right?
Yeah,
Also,
okay.
bro.
Yeah, we're going.
Alright. The 2023 season has been completely random. The Reds, Diamondbacks, Giants, Marlins, Orioles, Angels, and Rangers are all unexpected good teams. I think most surprisingly of all of these would probably be the Giants, I would say, or the Rays.
Rays. I would say Rays.
Well, the Rays were knew were gonna be good. We just didn't know if it was
True.
gonna be that good.
Yeah, but yeah, it's either Orioles or Giants right now. Actually, I don't know. Maybe
The Orioles,
Rangers.
The Rangers, especially since the Grom went down,
I know.
that's a record right now. They've been playing substantially, or not substantially. They're 46 and 20. That's like almost as good as the Braves. It's not. It's probably around the same.
Braves are like maybe 1 or 2 wins ahead of them. We're at 48. I think they're
Yeah,
at 48.
42. Yeah, 46.
Okay.
So they've been really surprising, especially since the Grom went down. But Nathan Eovaldi has seamlessly seamed into the A spot, and they have not missed a beat. Obviously, they don't like DeGrom, but he's gonna miss this season and a majority of next season, if not all of it. So he's out for the foreseeable future. The Marlins also are seeing as like it wasn't that they didn't have potential. It's just like the Mets and Phillies were expected to be behind the Braves or even ahead of the Braves in some cast, but the Mets they've struggled. I don't think they can get out of the hole. And the Phillies have shown some signs of life and they're above 500, I think now. But I don't know, they could turn around. But the Marlins are also surprisingly good. They have a lot of good pitching, and I think they're a series set in the playoffs because of their lights out pitching. And then a few of their hitters get hot, and then the team just becomes impossible to beat. All right, the Cardinals, Mets, Phillies, Dodgers, Padres, Astros, Yankees, and Blue Jays all underperforming. I say the most surprising is Cardinals because they play in a cakewalk division. It's like they could going into the season they could play subpar or not what's expected and still cruise that division, but they're just terrible this year.
They completely fallen apart.
It's not like the Braves where they in 2021 they're 3 games for 500 and they sat there for a few months and then caught fire, and they're more than a few mid outfielders at the trade deadline away from being good. Mets also because of the highest payroll ever. That's still obviously weird because terrible. Dodgers are not doing terrible.
Yeah, Dodgers. They're
41
just a
and
little bit of a
33.
slump right now.
That's a hard division.
Exactly.
Padres, Diamondbacks are the Padres are buried at this point. They're not buried, but they're 4th in the division, and that's the Giants might be pretenders. I think they probably are pretenders.
I would say so.
Oh wow,
Diamondbacks are not them.
Diamondbacks are legit. They
Diamondbacks
are. With Corbin Carroll, yeah, they got the squad in there. I'd say the Angels, they could also fall apart at any moment. honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they did that before, like, fell apart before the deadline. And I'm sure that's what the front office is like hoping happens, because they're probably not going to win the World Series, and they want to have an excuse to trade Ohtani. But if they're playing good and they trade Ohtani, they're going to get like crazy backlash. So they can't do that. So I'm going to be last hurrah for that team. Last chance for that duo to get in the playoffs.
They've only been in the playoffs twice.
Yeah, Mike Trout's not won a single playoff game in his career.
Dang.
Padres, they were,
Oh.
Padres.
No, it's the Angels' fault, not him.
Yeah, Padres, they were like expected to be like, this is finally the year the Padres could overcome the Dodgers in the West Division. And they've not, they're behind the Dodgers. They're about like, how many games are they back from the Dodgers?
Let's check.
They are
5.
5.5 games out. Dodgers, and the Dodgers are in third place and playing like below expected. Like, Dodgers are a whole 4 games out of fourth place, so Padres are 9.5 back. Obviously, they're not dead in the water yet. They can sneak into a playoff spot. The division's probably out of reach at this point, but they can obviously sneak in.
I just don't know. Unless they get hot, they're just.
Yankees
Bad
are
season.
Yankees. They're not doing terrible.
It's a division thing. I
Yeah.
feel like third right now behind the Rays and Orioles.
41-34. That's not as like terrible, but they were expected to run away with the division.
Yeah, Blue Jays are half a game behind them as
Yeah,
well.
Blue Jays are actually they're probably not underperforming. They're probably
Yeah, 41-35 is still a nice record.
Yeah,
especially.
that's like leading the Centrals.
Yeah.
It's like All right, so that's all I have on MLB.
That is our MLB scoop right there.
Our next segment, we got college football. One of the best sports ever created.
All right, so we have slated, does Ohio State and Michigan have the better program? And we're going to get to that in a few brief moments, but there's a few other things I want to talk about. Does Carson Beck have a lot of pressure heading into the 2023 season as he's going to take over the Georgia quarterback spot? I'm going to go first. So I think like yes and no, because one, this is a defensive-oriented team, so it doesn't have to put up like crazy numbers to win the games.
No, they've shifted a little bit since since 2 seasons.
Like it's not as good as the 2021 defense, and it might not be as good as the 2022 defense, but that defense is still loaded with talents everywhere. And you got to be in your A game to beat them.
Yeah, so I agree with Matthew,
But on the other
he has still gotten a good amount of snaps last year, and he has looked fine. Of course, that's as a second string, there's not as much pressure on him. So I'll also keep the same yes and no response.
But on the other hand, he is taking over after 7 minutes, so that can be a lot of pressure. Because
Exactly.
Stetson will probably go down as the best quarterback in Georgia history, and stats and like just like in general as like winning and stuff. So that could be a lot of pressure.
I would say no, because like the chances of any team, not just Georgia, but any team like three-peating is like very
True.
low. So if
Yes.
he doesn't three-peat, well, everyone's gonna hate on him if he like.
I think that is the largest amount of pressure because starting behind Stetson Bennett, yes, that puts a lot of pressure, but like, winning the championship the past 2 seasons and having
It's
those
high expectations.
Exactly.
Probably almost unfair.
If they drop to
It's like Alabama expectations.
At
they-
worst, they have 1 regular season loss to Tennessee.
if they drop to like
Pretty decent.
if they drop in ranks to like 10 or like back farther than that, he's gonna get hated on. But like I don't see. I wouldn't be
If he
feeling
loses
any,
more than 2 games, there will be a lot of fire.
I wouldn't be feeling any pressure right now if I were him. Just the only pressure I'll be feeling is
This is a
it's
thing.
pressure to like.
Well, any quarterback's going to feel
Yeah, I would have a
pressure.
lot of trust in my program, and he is.
And it's a run first offense too. I don't like it might change a little bit because switching the offensive coordinators.
Mhm.
He has plenty of weapons. Like honestly, he can just like dump it off to Bowers like almost every play.
I know, but how do
And
you
then
know
you'll
Bowers,
still have
like,
like
lining up
decent,
with you?
productive
Surprised he didn't
game.
play.
I think, why didn't he declare? There was something. I guess.
No, it's only a sophomore.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Although, yeah,
Next year he can go.
Yes,
He'll go.
definitely.
He'll go next year. There's no point.
he'll be so
I
much
know.
better
He's-
this year too, and he'll get bigger.
He's
and faster.
arguably the best player in college football.
Last season,
One of the best receivers for sure.
He's a tight end too.
I
I'm
know,
scared.
like-
He's not a bad blocker.
That's what I mean, like
Dude,
Yeah.
that's
in general, like receivers and tight ends.
yes.
All right.
Carson Beck, great quarterback. A lot of pressure, but I don't think it'll get to him.
Yeah, alright. That was a question y'all have been waiting for. Actually, don't know if you have. But does Ohio State or Michigan have the better program?
I will list what has happened recently. Michigan beat Ohio State in the past 2 years. made the playoffs the last 2 years. But in 2021 got gutted by Georgia, and 2022 upset by TCU in the semifinals. And then Ohio State made the playoffs in 2022, put UGA in Game of the Year. Georgia came back to take the lead with 54 seconds left. Ohio State had a chance to win with a field goal, but completely shanked it. While Michigan in recent memory has been dominating the regular seasons, they have greatly struggled in the playoffs. Good Ohio State has put up a decent fight when they make the playoffs.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, and as for recruiting, 2022, Ohio State 4th, Michigan 10th, 2023, Ohio State 5th, Michigan 17th, and 2024, Ohio State 4th, Michigan 2nd, but this can also
Yeah, I don't think Michigan's going to hold the second because Alabama's going to be top 5. They're going to get like a lot of.
I know, Alabama, they're going to rake them in over time.
Yeah.
So,
Florida's also hot right
I
now.
would
They have some
say-
decommits, but they're also getting a lot of
Sure.
pickups.
Yeah, it's just the boosters or whatever.
Florida State could obviously come. Florida State's more of a portal team.
Yeah, definitely.
I would say Michigan will stay in front of Ohio State most of it because Ohio State still has a lot of really good players. So a bunch of 5 stars or 4 stars will go to Michigan probably because they'll have Michigan's still a really good program, and every year they're title contenders. So
Exactly.
And they have more since there's
As long as they beat Ohio
Yeah.
State, and they don't even have to beat Ohio State, because obviously a team like Alabama could just decide to lose a couple games, and they'll make the playoffs.
and they'll have a chance to start, maybe be second string or whatever.
Yeah.
But the question is, does Ohio State or Michigan have the better program?
Ohio State.
This is I struggled with this answer prepping for the show, because Michigan's won the last 2 times,
Mm-hmm.
and they're Michigan's probably they made huge strides the last 2 years. They went undefeated up until the playoffs. They were this close to going to the national championship. Very well could have. But I think I still got to go Ohio State, and I feel like the game against Georgia made it all because they were in control of that game. Obviously they still choked, but they did everything right except make the last field goal better. And you knew if Ohio State was going to win that game, it would be a close game like this. Or nobody was going to blow out Georgia last year.
Mm-hmm.
If they lost, it was going to be a close game.
Yeah.
So I say I got to go Ohio State. They're recruiting better too. And then probably in 2021, I'm assuming Ohio State recruited better because that's been before Michigan had made become good. You know what I mean?
the Michigan was
Yeah. So they're stacking they've had three good classes on their roster right now. 2024 is obviously good. They're going in 5th place, and Michigan did not have a good 2022 recruiting ranking. 17th. It's not awful, but
2023.
same thing.
Being from Detroit, people are either huge Michigan State fans or huge Michigan fans. Both of them hate Ohio State, obviously. And I have a lot of relatives there who are big Michigan fans, and they all say Ohio State is a better program. So as much as they despise each other, coming from giant Michigan fans, I think that says a lot too.
Yeah, so I will also go Ohio State. And even though Michigan has beaten Ohio State the past 2 years, that doesn't always decide who has the better program. And recently in the playoffs, Ohio State did a lot better. Well, they were both really good games, but of course Georgia blew out TCU, and Ohio State.
Ohio State's been better.
They got this close to beating Georgia, so
yeah.
it really just kind of matters what happens in the playoffs. And Ohio State is going to make the playoffs, and once they expand, it's a guarantee they'll make the playoffs. And of course, who's going to do better?
This is
I'm
the
choosing Ohio State.
last year when you could when not Ohio State, Michigan, Georgia, and Alabama. This is the last year where they all don't make the playoffs most likely.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, really the only thing that keeps one of the teams in the playoffs is who wins the rivalry game.
yeah, if they both go undefeated in the playoffs, more than likely they're gonna make the make the playoffs. The only way I see it is if it don't is Georgia losing to Tennessee, and then Alabama has 1 loss, and then Tennessee beats Alabama in the SEC championship, and then that means Georgia gets in 2. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't take a lot of hypotheticals. This could go completely random. Ohio State could completely suck, and so could Michigan, or they could both be 2 of the best teams ever.
They're just fighting the big
And the good thing is they play each other every year, guaranteed.
Exactly.
So,
So you always get some idea, but obviously that one game can't decide everything.
all right, and we're
Unless
gonna
it's a national championship.
revisit this next year, obviously, but
Next segment, the 2022 all-name college football team.
Facts.
this is something I saw as I glanced over, and I was like, oh, well, this.
College football all-name team for the 2022 season. Quarterback, General Booty, Oklahoma.
Oh, we also gotta rate these. Hold on, I'm gonna write these down, and we're gonna come up with the best one.
Yeah, General Booty, S tier name, and the fact that he's a quarterback for Oklahoma.
Did he transfer? He might have.
General Booty. Who is the next one?
Running back, I don't even know.
Brzezinski's.
Yeah, I'm not writing that one, bro.
Something
That's probably gonna be like what, last in the list. It's
Jack-
like not
Wait,
funny. It's just
wait,
weird.
what was the
Boogie Night.
Boogie Night? Wait, what was it?
This is not the same list.
Yeah, this is not the list though.
It's
I think it's Athlons.
No, it's not.
Because we
I
didn't.
swear it is.
It's not purple, so pick.
Oh yeah.
It's fine. They might have the same one.
Wait. I just searched up like
Yeah. Yeah, fan side.
fan side. There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Quarterback, General Booty. Running back, Tank Bigsby, Auburn Tigers. That is a grown man's name, but it's pretty funny too. I'm gonna give it like A tier name.
The coldest.
But however, the coldest to ever do it, Crawford, double S tier. If you have a name like that, whenever you line up on someone, they're going to be cowering in fear because you know, they gotta tackle the coldest to ever do it.
My boy Boogie Night.
Other wide receiver, Boogie Knight.
Fat Watts.
Then Fat Watts.
I mean, that's like.
Absolute G.
Yeah.
Oh my.
It'd be funny if he was an offensive lineman too. Maybe like Jaeger Bowl.
Panda Askew.
Panda Askew. Tiger Shanks. It's a pretty cool name. You're not for a lineman though. But this is a tough name. Dylan Death Rage. Or Death Rage.
Because like
It's Death Rage.
Death Rage.
Western
Juice-
Michigan.
Like having that on your jersey, bro.
Oh, fact.
Juice Scruggs. That's pretty good.
Caden's cousin, by the way. Shout out to my boy Caden Scruggs.
Then Tater Reed on UAB. UAB is pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Debbie. USC.
Yeah.
I
Oh, no, that was
I thought that was
Tulane.
Tulane.
was
Yeah, that was
Tulane.
Tulane.
You haven't. I don't know.
Fish McWilliams.
Fish
Wait,
McWilliams,
UAB.
UAB. And then Hot Rod Fitton, South Carolina, on D-line as well. Then Octavius Oxendine.
Bro's gonna show up in the next Spider-Verse.
Yeah, bro is wearing a lab coat.
What is his name?
Mad scientist name, Octavius Oxendine from Kentucky, also Demon. Then Demon Clowney, also on D-line.
Also, look up if he's Jadeveon Clowney's like if he's related to him because he's got to be.
Demon Clowney
Jadeveon.
related to Jadeveon Clowney.
Because cousin.
Cousin of Jadeveon Clowney.
I'd rather be named Demon though. That's kind
Yeah,
of Bumper Pool, my boy from Arkansas.
Bumper Pool. That is indeed a nice name. Then Power Eccles. Power is a nice name. I wish it was a last name though. And they could have
Eccles
those
Power,
as
so it's better than Power Eccles.
well. Yeah.
Sir
Then
Voce.
then Sir Voce Dennis
The Pittsburgh.
on Pitt.
Pitt. Oh yeah, that's weird seeing it called Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So to my favorite person
at
ever.
DB we got Storm Duck.
Luke McFarlane.
Hold on, what's
Okay.
that? His
Bro,
name is Storm Duck.
why did we not go to Oregon? Having Duck on your
Oh,
jersey at Oregon.
Bad.
Oh my god.
Oh my.
He had to have a okay.
Storm
I
Duck.
have an offense.
He must have had like an Oregon visit. He must have had like something.
You did store.
Yeah, I was thinking of something else.
Storm. Yeah, he
Bro.
did he?
I don't think he just shows
Look
me
him
on
up though. What does he?
Carolina.
What does bro look like?
Wait.
He looks like a normal wide receiver. I don't think he's just a good.
He's a DB.
Same thing.
UNC.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's just a DB.
Storm Duck.
Okay. Then another DB is Buck Course on Wyoming. Then New Zealand Williams.
I didn't even know San Diego State had a team.
They did. They had that player that went to the Bills that has these
Yeah.
like
You don't know that.
allegations at the moment.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
He was the guy that was-
I thought they came off. I thought that. Or like he
He
got
probably
traded.
ate him off or something, but he was hitting like 80, 90-yard punts.
Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Then Cooley McKinstry.
I'm gonna say he's up there in the top. I'm gonna stop with the names list
Alright.
until we find someone.
I'm gonna say
Bubba Baxa.
Then Bubba Backsack kicker.
But I'm gonna say Kool-Aid's up there only because he's.
Actually, I'm gonna go on a limb here. This is completely random, but I'm gonna say Kool-Aid McKinstry is like the most overrated player
That's
in
fair.
college football.
All
Now, that's
right,
gonna be a topic for another day, but I'm not gonna give you any reasoning. But I'm
all
just
right,
gonna say-
boys.
I feel like he might be slightly overrated.
Because like the second,
On a
the
scale-
out of the secondary gets flamed.
On a scale of 1 to... Also, his celebration is tough. With, like, the sword. Have you seen him do, like... Look up his
I've seen
celebration.
that once.
That's a baseball celebration first.
He'll
Big
do-
from baseball.
I think he, like, flexes and then, like, does, like, the sword or something.
Yeah, this is just film.
This is tough, bro. Sick edits is...
No way.
Who even is that?
I saw that one backup quarterback for
Oh, I think
Auburn.
he's gonna do it.
Remember, because
He
Auburn.
does it, like, after a sack or a play.
Yeah, I probably did. Because remember, Auburn almost like.
Hey,
yeah.
who's that? Oh, he's about to do it. Bro! They
No,
be cutting it off every time. Do it.
He ran out of the camera. That's what.
Do it.
He's not gonna do it because it's doing celebration.
Oh, I remember this play.
It's Auburn.
But
Auburn's
anyway,
a bum school. I'm
alright,
sure.
rate on a scale
They're
of 1
not
to
bad. They
10.
just gotta.
On a scale of 1 to 10, rate
recruit
these
better.
names.
All right, I'll go first.
Now, I'll read them out loud. We all go through and rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. Andrew. So we'll start first. We're in. General Booty.
That was a 10 out of 10.
10.
10. Boogie Night.
Maybe I get a 6.
I'm gonna go with 9.5. That just sounds tough.
Boogie Night?
I'm giving
Okay,
that.
actually, yeah, give me that.
That's
Give me a
that
7.
sounds like a Fortnite.
I'm giving that a
skin.
6. I'm giving that a 6. Tank Bigsby.
That's
That's a grown man's name.
It is a grown man's word. I'm gonna give it a 7 because it's not like.
Yeah,
I give it-
It's
I
not
give it.
funny, but it is pretty cool.
It's like 8. It's like
In terms of like comedy, like to make you laugh, I would give that a 3.
a lot of those names. They don't make me laugh. Like General Booty, maybe did the first one.
Yeah, it's
A
fine.
lot of them are just tough. like-
Dakotas Crawford.
That's a
Yeah,
10.
that's a 10. The coldest to ever do it.
Also, this one will make you laugh. Fat Watts, baby.
That's 10 out of 10.
Panda Askew. 7. I'm giving that a 7. That's
Yeah, I give that like a 6.5. Like it's just a cool
Type-
band.
Tiger Shanks.
This is a knockoff Tiger Woods. I'm gonna give it like a 5.
Same.
Dylan Death Rage. That's a 10, bro.
Dylan Death Ring.
9. Actually,
I'll give
9.
it 9,
This
yeah.
is nice. Sounds like an energy drink.
Juice Scruggs.
I give that a 7.
Give it a 6.
Give it a 4.
Bro thinks he's Bro thinks he's Juice WRLD.
Tater Reed.
Tater Reed, that's a
Having
that's
your
a
first
7.
name
That's like a
Tater.
2. It's not even
Bro
funny.
got bullied.
Tater Reed, bro.
Fish McWilliams.
Fish McWilliams is a 9.
Bro got bullied when he was a kid. Bro.
I know.
Your name Fish.
Hey, fish! That's like what I did to Daniel. I said fish sticks and fish out of water.
Yeah.
He gets real mad at you. Hot Rod McFitton.
Dude, okay, that's a 9 right there.
Yeah, I
Give
give
me
it
10.
9.5.
10.
The Mad Scientist. Octavius Oxendine.
10.
10.
Oh, wait, I just found this article that reads 3 Atlanta Braves who won't survive the trade.
Yeah, Von Grissom. We'll talk
Von
about
Grissom.
Huh? Make that thing short. Matthew Potatoes is short.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's fine. Let's just talk about it right now.
Alright, we're gonna be.
So this article says
Wait, hold on.
3
Wait,
Atlanta
guys,
Braves.
hold on, guys. We can like cut this part out of the podcast and then make like a separate video.
Well, let's just talk about it
Matthew
real
can
quick.
do a short though.
Alright, fine. If you want to do it.
No,
But
we can, no, let's
I
just
just
cut
want
it.
to.
Make
Well,
it
this isn't our own article, so we can't talk about this. I just want to debate it.
Oh, that's right.
It's 3 Atlanta Braves who won't survive the trade deadline. Why? So you think we should make it a short or what?
We should make it a segment of a
Alright.
different video.
Another video.
It's like a separate video where it's like you have to watch it too to get the content.
Okay, that was all cut out then.
All right,
let's just wrap it up.
This is thank you guys for joining this show. Matthew can do the thing.
Alright, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe to get a shout out. As we had some shout outs, what was her name? Like Devin
We
and
had-
Andre.
We had Donovan and Andre.
Donovan, yeah.
Who
Thanks, Donovan.
both of them
Thanks to
subscribed.
Rebecca and Randy and Stats and Info, producer Jeff.
Shout out to my boy Metro Boomin. No, I'm kidding.
Thanks to Diane, the social media director.
Yeah.
Make sure to follow our Twitter.
Yeah, follow
We'll
me
link it in the description.
Instagram coming,
Link it in the
Instagram
description.
coming soon. Follow me on Twitter, Matthew Steele.
Make sure to
Obviously.
comment.
Obviously,
Yeah, make sure
We're
you
gonna-
comment. Make
we're
sure
gonna-
you
we're gonna-
retweet those tweets.
we're gonna rebrand. We're gonna branch out to TikTok hopefully soon. You know, all such social media. So stay
You'll be
tuned.
seeing us in short form content.
Yeah.
we'll be
We
coming
will
out
have
with
all sorts of exciting projects, so make sure to be here every step of the way.
We'll have
and
shorts.
with that, I'm going to step aside. Have a good night and goodbye.